MashaAllah. Yes, brother.
Thank you for fitting me in. It's been an amazing talk. You are very inspiring. My name is Matt. I'm an author. One final question. After hearing all the positive things, why do you think, from your experience, so many people in the West are intimidated by Islam? What do you think?
Very good question. The brother asked the most important question of the session. That if I talk so good things, why is the West so intimidated? It is because of the media. Today, there is virulent propaganda regarding Islam on the international media, whether it be international channels, international radio stations, the newspapers, the magazines. According to Time magazine, in a span of 150 years, from 1800 to 1950, there were 60,000 books written against Islam and the Prophet. 60,000. Now it's increased. So depending upon how the media portrays Islam, and you might have heard, I said the solution for terrorism is there in Quran. I said that. You heard the answer of mine. But the West is blaming Muslims to be terrorists. Right or wrong?
Yeah, right.
My government is saying that I'm a terrorist. Do I look like a terrorist?
No.
Yes. But the government is saying that. What do we have to do? That's what the people are saying, that my last and final messenger, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, was a terrorist. I don't agree with it. So what we have to do, we have to practically demonstrate. So the reason whether the West is intimidated, because the West is afraid of Islam. Why it's afraid? If Islam is successful, then people won't be able to flirt around with their girlfriends. They won't be able to do fornication. They won't be able to do adultery. They will not be able to have alcohol. They will not be able to gamble. This is all, I would say, a fictitious happiness. There's something like true happiness and fictitious happiness. I, being a doctor, when you have alcohol, you feel high. It is a temporary fictitious happiness. Islam talks about permanent factual happiness. And the permanent factual happiness can only happen if you accept Islam. See, I've been taken away from my country. You know, I did hijrah. You may not be knowing my background because I speak like that. And the non-Muslims in India love me. So when the non-Muslims love me, the government is afraid. So when the non-Muslims of India start loving me and start praising me, the government tells I'm a terrorist and I'm out now. But they took away all my wealth. For me, I'm very happy. Because happiness is a state of mind. So my job as a Da'i, brother, is to remove the misconceptions of Islam. So I've given the talk on, is terrorism Muslim monopoly? I've given statistics that the first hijack was done by non-Muslim. The first assassination, non-Muslim. You see, except for the last 20, 30 years, you see the history, there are hardly any Muslims involved in terrorist activity. Hardly. And now, there are some Muslims who have been brainwashed by the Westerners. You know, the ISIS, I believe it's a handiwork of the enemies of Islam. It is anti-ISIS, I say. There is no ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq. It is not. It is a handiwork of the enemies of Islam, promoting them to spoil the picture of Islam. How can Islam doesn't believe in killing innocent human being? The person says, I'm a Muslim, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, and kills a non-Muslim. It is non-Muslims programming them, paying them. You understand? It's all programmed. So, it is the West which is afraid, because if Islam spread, peace will spread. If peace spreads, you know, I said in my talk yesterday that today the whole economy of the world is revolving around riba, interest-based. And you know that the banks are ruled only by a handful of families. You may be aware of that. You know, a handful of the families. They are controlling the economy of the world. And we think Fort Knox, you know, it is owned by the American government. No, it is owned by a few Jew families. You know that. So they're controlling the world. If Islam spread, the control will go away. Well, Islam believes in equality. Islam believes that all human beings are equal just because the rich are not superior. So because of that, you find that there are a lot of movies made against Islam. There's a lot of media. That's the reason we started our own satellite channel by the name of Peace TV. In English, Urdu, Bangla, Chinese. 4 languages. It's on 15 satellites. And we try and remove the misconceptions about Islam. The moment it became popular, I was not allowed to enter UK. Because when I gave talks, there were 25,000 people. Oh, 25,000 people, problem. In New York, we were going to give a talk in the Madison Square Garden. Now I don't have visa. I went to USA many times. But when there were 2,000, 5,000, they had no problem. When it became 25,000, 30,000, they have problem. The larger the audience, they are afraid that people will come to the truth. So what we are doing, we are going by satellite. So Allah has His ways. So the West mainly is afraid of Islam spreading, because if Islam spreads, then all human beings will be equal. There will not be some few who will be superior. In Islam, human beings are equal. Just because the rich are not superior, we can love each other, we can embrace the other person. So Islam, you get the true happiness. So this talk was based on that the Islamic value of true happiness is a person doesn't have to be rich to be happy. And actually, if you analyze, brother, the rich people are unhappy. The rich people require tablets to sleep. The person who is poor is happy. So the true happiness is you understand the life, understand the human values, so that we follow the commandments of our Creator. Hope that answers the question, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.